From the sidelines, could he and his young team continue to blossom in Europe? A volatile Valencia, the visitors to Stamford Bridge. A humdinger in prospect in Germany as Dortmund, who've made a flying start to the Bundesliga, took on a Barcelona team still stacked with superstars everywhere you look. Elsewhere in Group F, Inter Milan have recruited big names to bring back the good old days. Conte, Lukaku and co kicked off against and Premier League leaders Liverpool, who face Napoli once again at this stage. Carlo Ancelotti's side were 1-0 winners in the Stadio San Paolo last October, you may recall. Roberto Firmino started in attack after his inspirational performance from the bench in the win over Newcastle on Saturday. Skipper Jordan Henderson and James Milner also came into midfield. Ancelotti's intent was clear with an attacking Napoli lineup with Callejon, Mertens and Insigne and Lozano offering plenty of threats going forward. The commentators at the San Paolo, Steve McManaman and Darren Fletcher.
Lozano's going to chase this one. He'll leave it now to the captain, Lorenzo Insigne. And the shot beaten away by Adrian, and the second one as well, and then the flag up. Well, the two shots that came in were from Fabian Ruiz, and the Liverpool goalkeeper did very well on both occasions, and they were really pleased to see the linesman's flag in the air.
You can see clearly they're offside. But two nice hits, and Adrian stood really big and strong to rescue Liverpool.
Insigne's lost it. Henderson looking for Sadio Mane. Half a chance here for Liverpool. Mane! And the first save made by young Alex Merritt, the goalkeeper. He's only 22. Italy under 21 international, but he's the first choice here at Napoli, and he didn't have too much trouble with that. Ancelotti's 161st Champions League game as a manager tonight. Only Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger have been involved in more often. 8 clubs as well he's been in charge of in the Champions League. Here's Milner, real chance this. Salah coming in on the other side. Vital defending by Mario Rui.
Yeah, the right ball by James Milner. Just didn't get enough power, wanted in the front of it. Lovely play by Firmino and Mane. You see the passes on, the angle wasn't, unfortunately, but he had the right idea. At least James Milner just doesn't pick it out properly.
Liverpool go short with a corner. Here's Milner. Glanced on and just wide. Roberto Firmino. Merritt was completely flat-footed for Napoli.
It looked all the well where we were as it was in the back of the net. Lovely ball by Milner. And he actually should have probably got it on target, shouldn't he? I know it was close, as you can see there.
Allen to Mertens. Here's Callejon. Insigne. Mario Rui looking to float one in. Excellent save by Adrian to deny Mertens. Flight to the ball beat Van Dijk, but then Mertens couldn't beat the Liverpool goalkeeper.
No, it's a great save by Adrian. I'll have to see the replay whether it was on target by Mertens, but it was a lovely play. Insigne, Mario Rui, nice floated ball, as you said. Yeah, I think it was. It was an incredible save. Strong right arm. Look at that.
That's as good a save as you're going to see. I mean, it was a hugely important save by Alisson against Milik on match day 6 last season. That's a big one on match day 1 for Adrian. And the cross into the Liverpool box, straight at Adrian. I wonder whether... Oh, there's a mistake. Chance here for Mo Salah for Liverpool. Got a fingertip to it, the goalkeeper. Vital save by Merritt.
Yeah, great save by Merritt. He was quick to shut his angle down and steady himself. Mo Salah on the turn, hit. Nice hit from him. Good stop by the keeper.
Well, Liverpool did prove last season as well that you can get by on home form alone. They lost all 3 away games in the group, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Robertson to Mane. Liverpool's possession accompanied by the usual whistling chorus. Here's Sadio Mane. Good save by Merritt. Went for the toe poke in the end, didn't he, Sadio Mane? Couldn't squeeze it past the Napoli keeper.
Yeah, it was brilliant by Firmino. Put it into his path. Lovely turn, 1-2. That's lovely ball. He just couldn't get it out.
Here's Mertens. The space out wide for Callejon. Callejon here for Napoli. Down he goes. Oh, he's given it! Robertson's challenge. And Felix Brick says penalty to Napoli.
It looked a penalty flag, to be honest. And there you go with that lack of concentration. gets a touch, tangles the leg out. There's not much in it at all, is there?
Well, they are going to check it.
Yeah.
VAR will look at it.
I thought he kicked him
there. I can't see a touch at all there,
No,
Steve.
I don't think it is a penalty.
I think this is going to be really harsh if this stands. Check over, and it does stand. Not seen as a clear, obvious error, despite the fact there didn't seem to be a great deal of contact. And with less than 10 minutes to go, Dries Mertens has the opportunity to put Napoli ahead from the penalty spot. Mertens against Adrian. And he's got his hand to it, but it's gone in. He got a really solid contact on that, the Liverpool goalkeeper. But the San Paolo stadium explodes because Napoli have gone ahead. Napoli 1, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, in their quietest periods of the game, Napoli explodes into life with the penalty, and Dries Mertens, who's in good form, as you said, Flex, steps up and smashes it in.
Llorente's in here, Llorente can seal it, and he does. A rare mistake by Van Dijk, I think it was, for Liverpool. And what a time to score your first goal for Napoli. And he'll see that as an element of revenge for the Champions League final. Llorente on target, Napoli 2, Liverpool 0.
Yes, he was. He was nice and alert, wasn't he, Fernando Llorente? There you go, talking about Liverpool playing all right, and then another error late on in the game, and it's being punished.
There's the full-time whistle, and Liverpool are beaten on match day 1, but it's a 4th successive away defeat in group stage matches for Liverpool, who end match day 1 with defeat. Full-time here in the San Paolo, it's finished.
A long time away for the Austrians, but thanks to a teenage scoring sensation, Salzburg soon announced their return. Erling Braut Haaland off the mark 2 minutes in, adding to the 9 goals in one game he scored for Norway in this summer's Under-20s World Cup, and the 3 hat-tricks he'd netted already this season. The son of former Forest Leeds and Manchester City man Alfie Haaland, the 19-year-old was simply too hot for Genk to handle, striking again in clinical fashion, set up by some excellent work from Hee-chan Hwang. The South Korean's in prolific form too, and just 2 minutes later was on the score sheet for the 5th time in his last 4 Salzburg appearances. Starting to become clear how Jesse Marsch's side had racked up 34 goals in their first 7 league matches this campaign. At the other end, Genk were offered some momentary respite when John Lukumi reduced the deficit, making it 3-1. But Haaland was far from finished. He'll soon run out of room to store all the match balls, completing a first-half treble on his Champions League debut that puts him in illustrious company. Only Raul and Wayne Rooney scored hat-tricks in the competition at a younger age. Genk heading for an unwanted record. They've now played 13 Champions League fixtures and never won, more than any other club. Dominik Szoboszlai had them 5-1 down at the break. Plenty then to interest Liverpool's analysts ahead of Salzburg's trip to Anfield next time out, including, more encouragingly, some fallibility at the back. The unmarked Mbwana Samatta gave Genk another tiny boost, only for the home side to shrug that off and restore their 4-goal advantage with a neatly worked strike from skipper Andreas Ulmer. On an evening when next to nothing went right for the Belgians, they could at least be thankful for VAR. Samatta was shown a red card for that challenge towards the end. But alerted to the mistake by the video assistant, referee Felix Wire rescinded the dismissal, downgraded to a caution. Salzburg will be even happier when they enjoy the video review of their night's work.
To keep a single clean sheet so far this season. Frank Lampard stuck with the same system that was so successful in the win at Wolves on Saturday. The only change seeing Kurt Zuma replace the injured again Rudiger in a back 3. Valencia sacked manager Marcelino at the end of last week, replacing him with Albert Celades, whose first match in charge was a 5-2 mauling at the Nou Camp at the hands of Barcelona. Commentary at the bridge from Glenn Hoddle and Ian Dark.
Tomori, one of those who was with Frank Lampard last season at Derby County, like Mason Mount. Zuma inside, Jorginho to help it on. It's Azpilicueta. William, good link-up play. Azpilicueta hits the ball and Abraham's there on the near post. And just for a moment there, it looked like Chelsea might be in business. Valencia yet to beat Chelsea in 6 European meetings. Puts the player down. It's a painful one, and it's going to be a card administered for that challenge to Coquelin. Not the first yellow of his career. In fact, he's already got a red this season.
Really has caught Mount there, hasn't he? Look, he's too slow in his use of the ball, and he's followed through and caught him. It's a really bad tackle, and it's picked up well by the referee.
Well, he's able to walk off the pitch anyway. Pedro will replace him, but his Champions League debut lasts only a quarter of an hour. Inside by Rodrigo, fast feet, Coquelin to lay it inside. Rodrigo again, springing the step now. Cherisha plays it back. Rodrigo hit his own player on the way through. Vass deposits that about 30 rows back.
Lovely little cutback ball. He hits it. Hits his striker teammate Camero. I don't know if it was on its way. I don't know if it had the power to get past the Chelsea defenders and the keeper.
Pedro. Valencia's plan and selection working pretty well so far for their new coach, Albert Celades. He's hoping he can get some kind of foothold in the job with a decent result here. Willian has other ideas. It's a very good run from him. Typical piece of tricky play from the Brazilian.
It was brilliant again. It's the change of pace and direction. Look, fabulous.
Kovacic. Oh, Williams found a bit of space here. Can he finish it? No, he couldn't. Good move.
Brings it down on his chest, does the first bit. Just can't get his balance. Ball a little bit behind him. What a wonderful goal that would have been if he sticks that in the net.
Pedro, nicely measured ball that. Here's the skipper again, Azpilicueta. Willian! Great effort. Still in play too. Fizzes it back across. Nobody in a blue shirt there.
Oh, it's brilliant again from Willian, isn't it? Oh, what a way to finish the half.
There might be a yellow card for Gaia for that challenge. It looks like the referee is going to take a benevolent view of it. This is a nice angle for Marcos Alonso. And they're in search of a bit of inspiration. Chelsea here. Can either Willian or Alonso provide it? It is Alonso. Got through the wall. And Silerson did well, really, because he must have seen that late.
Yeah, he got across really well, because sometimes you're expecting the wall to do its job. It goes through the wall. They only had a three-man wall. Normally you have four from there.
Free kick, Valencia, 30 yards out.
He just falls to the dummy, doesn't he? Kovacic just catches him there. Definite foul.
Parejo with the set piece. He did score a couple of penalties in Valencia's only La Liga win so far against Real Mallorca, the skipper. He's in charge of everything from the dead balls and plays that one into a good area. And that is the goal that they were looking for. Rodrigo for Valencia. Smash and grab raid by the Spaniards.
Well, you know one thing, Ian, this team might have been having a go off the pitch on Twitter or whatever on social media, but they have been on that training ground looking at what they were going to do from set plays. Their set plays from corners and free kicks have been outstanding tonight. It's a beautiful ball. That's off the training ground. And Rodrigo gets away from Abraham, just gets enough on it, and it ends up in the net.
This would be a horrible start to what might be a tightish group with Ajax and Lille around in it. Still time for Chelsea to do something about it. Kovacic. Giroud got hold of it and straight down the throat of Silerson.
It's better. Lovely little dummy there on his left foot, creates the space, hits it really well, but unfortunately straight at Silerson.
Barkley. Good run, deflects. Not to a blue shirt though. Corner.
Yeah, good try from Barkley. Just a deflection there. It's going in the bottom corner.
Williams corner. Good goalkeeping by Silerson. Got the punch in. Pedro's shot. Charged down. Another corner. You get a blue head on the end of it. Tomori's claiming a handball there after his header. So the other Chelsea players. I guess the VAR will take a look at that to see whether there was any substance, but nothing given. It's an on-target header by the look of it by Tomori.
I wish the goalie would have thrown his cap on. He's given it.
He's giving the penalty. Big VAR moment, 5 minutes to go. And it's going to be Barkley who rushes up to the penalty spot out of your picture. He's going to take the penalty by the look of it. Now, Jorginho has been taking them, hasn't he? This is interesting. It's Ross Barkley. Oh, my goodness me! Having grabbed the ball, it's hit the crossbar and gone over. Well, there'll be an inquest about that.
Well, I think there will, actually. So many players went up to Ross Barkley before the penalty, which wouldn't have helped him. He's gone central, but he's leant back and it's gone too high. It goes over, just clips the top of the bar.
Back in again, and Christensen with a big opportunity to rescue it for Chelsea. Couldn't find the target.
Christensen, oh, he's on the run as well. He's above it. He's really got to hit the target there.
That's it. Chelsea's first home defeat in Europe for over 3 years. Chelsea 0, Valencia 1 is the shock scoreline from
against Barcelona. All eyes on Barca's 16-year-old prodigy, Ansu Fati, already breaking records for the Blaugrana. Lionel Messi was on the bench on his return from injury. Your commentators are Don Hutchison and Guy Mowbray.
Nelson Semedo. It's come to Ansu Fati. It's now with Griezmann. Set up very swiftly by Suarez' touch.
Yeah, it was. Ansu Fati took a nice little touch just here, just popping it off with his second touch. Suarez with a layoff. So actually, well done. Matt Hummels coming across and putting that block on as Griezmann's taking the shot on.
Artur Melo will take the Barcelona corner. It's flicked towards goal and right across it. Piqué got that.
That's a good flat delivery from the corner. Gerard Piqué just went past his marker, Atel Witsel, really easily. Just wouldn't fall for Longley, just coming around the far post. Get a little bit lucky there, Borussia Dortmund.
It's very, very confidently done. Almost found a way out to Royce too. Hazard plays it into Royce. Well spotted by Marc-Andre ter Stegen. It's the first thing the Barcelona keeper has had to do. He was so alert.
That was great play all round. Torgan Hazard just drove inside onto his strong right foot. You see the run from deep from Marco Reus. He is a mile onside, but the German comes off his line to Stegen. So quick, just smothers him. If he had that one back again, he might try to dink the goalkeeper, but easier said than done. Big chance for Dortmund, that.
Suarez. He's got past Akanji. And Roman Berkey came out to meet him and make sure he couldn't find that narrowest of angles.
Sharp lad from Luis Suarez, just sucked the defender nice and tight and flicked it round the corner. And now he's in, even though the angle's against him. Good save that from Roman Berkey. Going for goal there, Suarez. The angle's tight.
He had left a little gap.
Yeah.
Witsel to Delaney. Sancho is taking on Nelson Semedo. He's done pretty well against him, up to a point. He didn't do well there. He chopped him down. And Borussia Dortmund have a penalty.
But Semedo should be going nowhere near Jadon Sancho. Just stay on your feet. He's had a little flick and I think he catches him. This will be the best angle to look at. Jadon Sancho just chops inside. Semedo, do not dangle a leg.
Oh, he's got him.
Yep, penalty.
It's the Borussia Dortmund captain.
save by ter Stegen, and he holds on when the ball bounces his way again.
How calm was ter Stegen there. Fantastic save, but he gets up so quick. It's incredible. Here's the save again.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Off his line, isn't he?
It's Rafael Guerreiro. Can't get past De Jong. He does keep it going by finding Witsel. Delaney. It's Hakimi. And now Hazard. It's got to be right now. And it hits Paco Alcácer. Bounces behind.
Well, this is not an easy chance. You're looking for a little bit of finesse for that finish.
Here's Sancho. Hakimi pulls back. Paco Alcácer left it and Royce missed it. Another.
That's the big chance, because that's the perfect move, and they know it. It's the perfect move. You get to the byline. Hakimi pulls it back a little over from the centre forward, and Marco Reus scores 9 times out of 10 from there. I'm not sure why he's going for power. The pace is on the cross. Just guide it home.
Here's Brandt, opens up for Brandt! Oh! And he had ter Stegen beaten with that. The bar is still shaking. Guerreiro, Paco Alcácer. Brandt beaten to it. And the game is on here.
It is, and it's there for Dortmund to win it.
Given away again, Sancho, Paco Alcácer, here's Royce, Sancho to Brandt. Brandt to Royce, Royce gets another go, and ter Stegen stops him twice.
How are Borussia Dortmund not leading this game, I'll never know.
Now a Barcelona free kick, and they will take their time and take some deep breaths.
Well, ter Stegen's been their best player by a country mile, trying to play it from the back, and all of a sudden, Borussia Dortmund trying to play a 1-2. You see Julian Brandt just whipping that across the 6-yard box, and Royce on his left foot just opened that ankle, trying to place him to the bottom corner. This is a shot from Julian Brandt from distance. How good is this shot? Ter Stegen well beaten. Oh, it's an incredible effort. There should be a couple up here, Borussia Dortmund. Barca have got a way to go to convince anyone they're going to be favourites for the Champions League. I know it's very early on.
Now there's a problem. Here's Lionel Messi. Messi's shot is blocked. That was the chance. It was actually the last kick of the match. All of a sudden it looked as though Barcelona might nick it, and it would have been nicked. And the final score, rather surprisingly, Borussia.
Bauer.
Slavia Prague have enjoyed the trip to Italy and all that goes with it. Can they cause an upset? Sends it early into Martinez. Little drop of the shoulder from him, and the shot! Which was only a fraction off target.
Lovely with all his touches to set himself. Just drags the shot wide in the end. Andre Cardula goes to ground. He can do nothing about it. He's beaten.
Souček's header away for Slavia Prague.
It's lacking the connection in all areas of the field right now, Inter. I don't recall more than 4 passes put together really comfortably in the final third, the attacking third for them.
Samara fouled. In from Sensi. D'Ambrosio this time, and Inter cannot accept the gift.
Here's a header once again, Ambrosio. 8 yards out, Ready's got to score. Got to be much more definitive with the way he heads that ball.
Sensi, this kick really. Lukaku. Samoa. Can they start this second half on the front foot? In from Sensi once more. Beaten away by the goalkeeper, Martinez. And Kolar again with the save.
Redeemed himself, did Andre Kolar. Should have been pushing that ball a lot wider of the post than this. Straight to Martinez. Just unable to kill that first touch with his thigh. Give himself a much better opportunity. It's a good second save. He's up really quickly.
Stanchu. Olayinka. He laid it back to the substitute. Olayinka! My words! The Nigerian has stunned the San Siro. Peter Olayinka for Slavia Prague.
Super controlled strike. It's a great cutback as well. That's a firm strike. That's a great save from Handanovic. And there's Olayinka. Followed up his cross, that lovely cutback with a cool side foot.
There's been a rise in the applause from the Inter supporters. They feel they've got hope here. Souček's challenge, yellow card for the skipper.
And that's about his first mistake of the game.
Inter free kick.
And he couldn't resist it, but he saw that Politano was striding through.
Here comes Sensi. Inches away from an equaliser. Barella back in! And he has equalised. Slavia Prague hearts broken. Nicola Barella, on his first ever appearance in European club football, marks it with an equaliser in the 92nd minute.
Sometimes it's not the sweetest ones that are the most effective.
Really intriguingly, doesn't it? Because it looked like a bit of group of death, but this will give Prague a lot of hope, won't it? Olayinka, from a brilliant save initially from Handanovic.
Yep, big hand from Handanovic, and Olayinka follows it up, and then you're thinking, you know, are they going to sit back and try and hold on? But they didn't. They actually took the game to Inter, and this was a really big opportunity.
Absolutely.
I actually think he can pass the ball into the net from there. He
all pick a team out.
Yeah. How lucky was that? You know, a scuffed volley into the floor, deflection or two.
Yeah, there's a little bit going on, as you say. Initial strike, terrific. Barella, first European game, just come from Cagliari, but there's a lot happens to the ball before it nestles in the back of the net, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean,
scuffy shot, bit of a deflection.
Look, it's not an easy finish, of course. It's not.
No.
You know, it's gone.
Host Zenit.
Striker Sardar Azmoun was repaid for a bold decision in France. Within a few minutes of refusing to be substituted after turning his ankle, the Iranian exchanged passes with Artem Dzyuba and fired Zenit St. Petersburg into the lead. The injury did force the forward off straight after the break, replaced by Magomed Ozdoyev, who was still settling in when Memphis Depay's quick feet caught him cold. A foul seen clearly by referee Michael Oliver, which put Depay in position to level the scores. The Dutchman delivered, maintaining his goal-a-game average for Lyon so far this season. Frustrated at drawing their last 5 Champions League home games, the French were doubly determined to muster up a winner to launch their campaign. But Jeffrey Adelaide's last touch was a letdown at the end of a flowing move, the closest either side came to a clincher.
A 15th Champions League group stage for Benfica began against relative upstarts with no respect for reputations. Timo Werner has already scored 5 times in the Bundesliga, and Julian Nagelsmann's side had signalled their intent. Benfica's new striker Raul de Tomas, signed to fill the large boots of the departed João Felix, did test Peter Galassi just before the break. But after it, Werner and Yusuf Poulsen combined, but Odysseus Flakadimos denied Marcel Sabitzer the finishing touch. But 20 minutes from time, Leipzig's dynamic duo struck decisively. Poulsen creating the opportunity for Werner, who also scored at Porto in the club's previous Champions League campaign 2 years ago. He didn't have to settle for one this time. The 23-year-old's 5th goal in 3 away games in the competition doubled the lead for the current German leaders. Although this one needed the benefit of the doubt from VAR. Benfica's final throw of the dice set up an interesting conclusion. Substitutes Rafa Silva and Haris Seferovic combining for the Swiss striker to reduce the deficit. But in a group that's likely to throw up a surprise or two, Leipzig have set a marker.